Hello there. I'm Sharon Hoyer, Clinical Nurse Specialist for the Emergency Department in the Critical Care Unit at Hoag Irvine. Today I just wanted to take a few minutes to review the stakeholder education plan for my project. The aim of the proposed study is to determine whether regularly scheduled Code RBC simulation drills improve the team coordination of patient care and outcomes. The clinical question became, what are the effects of providing massive transfusion simulation drills on nursing's coordination of patient care and outcomes? The previous training has been only didactic in nature, and although briefly reviewed in nursing orientation classes, there has been no hands-on training. Simulation has been shown to be effective in achieving good outcomes, in learning by addressing human factors that come into play during an emergency situation. The key stakeholders for the study include the director of the blood bank and the quality improvement at Hoag Hospital. Both have been instrumental in the development and implementation of the Code RBC protocol. Additional stakeholders are the CCU intensivists, the ED physicians, the labor and delivery perinatologists and obstetrical physicians, charge nurses, and staff nurses from each of these departments. The blood bank director oversees the blood bank and the laboratory staff and the Code RBC process. He is able to support the project through staff encouragement and facilitating the necessary staff and supplies required to perform regularly scheduled simulation drills throughout the organization. His support of the proposed project with the regularly scheduled simulation drills enable his staff to become accustomed to the continuing process of Code RBC simulation drills. He is also a valuable resource in terms of laboratory clinical compliance issues as they relate to the handling and distribution of blood products. Quality improvement, just by virtue of their purpose, is interested in improving processes and patient outcomes. Quality improvement, along with the blood bank director, was instrumental in the research, development, and finally implementation of the Code RBC process for the organization. Together, they provided over 100 didactic classes on the background of massive transfusion protocol, previous practice, and current evidence-based practice guidelines. Quality improvement has tracked the data regarding the Code RBC process since its implementation, providing this proposed project with existing data from which to compare collected data during the project implementation phase. This quality improvement role will be helpful as they will continue to collect data as usual, and this will not require any further work in this area. The CCU intensivists, ED physicians, labor and delivery physicians, including the perinatologists and OB physicians, will be the key stakeholder physician groups who will be involved in the Code RBC simulation drills, as they will also be participants. The lead intensivist at our Irvine campus is a champion for the Code RBC process and has been very supportive in Department of Critical Care meetings, collaborative practice meetings, and is supportive with the critical care staff during actual Code RBC events. His role will be especially helpful in implementing the project. Department directors, charge nurses, and staff nurses will all serve in supporting roles for the project. The department directors will support the implementation of the project to encourage staff involvement, encourage improved performance, and also the clinical outcomes. Charge nurses will participate in the simulation drills, offering encouragement for the staff nurses that leads to their engagement in the process. Staff nurses will also participate in the simulation drills and provide valuable input in terms of the pre- and post-knowledge assessment surveys, in addition to providing feedback during debriefing to help improve the simulation drill process. The blood bank and laboratory staff participate in the drills by responding to the drill with a cooler, simulating the cooler that would be filled with blood products in a real-life massive transfusion event. This is often their only role in the Code RBC simulation process, and not often are they able to stay for the entire drill or even in a real event, as they are needed back in the blood bank. And in a real situation, they would be returning to the blood bank to retrieve additional waves of blood products. The educational information that needs to be distributed among the stakeholders can be divided into 5 segments: the identified problem, PICO question, and implementation plan, data collection, debriefing, pre- and post-knowledge assessment surveys, and patient outcome information. All identified stakeholders need to be made aware of the identified problem, the PICO question that arose from the identification of the problem, the implementation plan for the regularly scheduled simulation drills, and the data that will be collected. The charge nurses, staff nurses, and MDs directly involved with each simulation drill will be instructed on the debriefing process following the simulation drills. Instruction on pre- and post-knowledge assessment surveys will be given to the charge nurses and staff nurses, as these will be presented to the participating nursing staff prior to and following each simulation drill. Education on the post-drill evaluation results and resulting patient outcomes will be provided for everyone. The Ottawa model of research has been used to frame the study. This model provides a comprehensive and interprofessional framework for the transfer of knowledge in healthcare that comes from published, evidence-based research. The framework addresses evidence-based recommendations, potential adopters, practice environment, strategies to impart knowledge, adoption of learning, and outcomes related to patients, practitioners, and systems. The patient is the central component of each element, and it can be applied to the individual professional practitioner and the healthcare team or system. It is a good framework for the proposed descriptive quality improvement study. Malcolm Knowles identified these 6 principles of adult learning. Motivation is especially important among the stakeholders, as internal motivation is driven by a project that is consistent with the stakeholders' personal values. Encouraging them to become engaged and take ownership stems from a project where potential gains are of value to them as well. The staff involved in this study are all adults, and these adult learning principles will be utilized in the preparation and implementation of the proposed Code RBC simulation drills. Using proven methods of adult teaching and learning may be helpful in providing experiences that are meaningful for the participants and achieve the desired outcomes. The educational information will be dispersed through regularly scheduled meetings with the blood bank director and quality improvement. Since these 2 stakeholders were key in researching, developing, and implementing the massive transfusion protocol for the organization, they have much experience with the protocol and can provide historic information that will be helpful in moving forward with this project. The Nursing Education Department has regularly scheduled twice-monthly meetings, and this is a great venue to reach not only the nursing education director, but the educators and clinical nurse specialists for all of the units in the organization. The rapid response team, charge nurses, and staff nurses will need the information on the project, and particularly the rapid response team members, as they are frequently called by the floors when a patient is starting to deteriorate where hemorrhage may be an issue. Physicians that may be involved can be reached one-on-one, including the critical care intensivist, the OB and perinatologist, and the emergency department physicians. Department directors of units likely to be involved in a Code RBC can also be contacted one-on-one. Attending some of the regularly scheduled meetings and providing regular email to all stakeholders will be 2 of the methods used to distribute information. Attending change of shift reports in the various units will allow contact with the frontline nursing staff as well as the charge nurses. Another way to have the information readily available will be to have it posted on the organization's intranet, where information and any updates can be made available at all times. Potential value of the project will also be shared with the key stakeholders. This has impact in terms of the staff's understanding of potential savings for the organization. If through improved patient care during Code RBC, we decrease the patient's ICU stay by 1 day, we can save over $188,000 per year. And likely more, as this information is based on a 2005 study. It has also happened that many times when a Code RBC is called, the staff forget how to set up the rapid infuser and mistakenly pre-prime the tubing for the rapid infuser, and then find that they cannot get it to run on the infuser. This results in wasted tubing that costs approximately $100 per set, so repeated simulation exercises to familiarize the nurse with the proper handling of the tubing can potentially result in less waste and a savings of $5,360 per year. The overall potential savings for the organization is $192,080.80 per year, and the improved survival to discharge rates and improved patient outcomes is priceless. These improved patient outcomes may also realize improved reimbursement rates. Informed regarding the progress of the project is key to its success. Using these various methods of two-way communication styles and using email only when necessary provides the greatest likelihood that the information will be communicated effectively and will also be remembered. One of the ways which the stakeholders can help is to maintain a positive outlook and convey confidence and enthusiasm towards the project. By promoting the value of the intervention and sharing information regarding the project, the enthusiasm for the project will hopefully continue even in the absence of the primary investigator. Communicating any questions or concerns will also help in keeping everyone on track with the process so that there is no confusion and clear instructions. In delivering world-class care to our patients. Thank you.